Hello and welcome to the new series of Drishti IAS. I am Pooja Dwivedi, and in this segment today we are going to talk about the role of Turkey in the Russian-Ukraine war. This is very important from the perspective of preliminary examination, the facts specifically, and mains GS paper 2. Let's begin with the topics that we are going to discuss under it. Major theme will be what is Turkey's stand, what is stake for Turkey, and what is the history of Turkish relations with Russia and Ukraine. Okay, so let's begin with the news. At Antalya Dialogue, which is going to be conducted from 11th of March onwards, Turkey, the foreign ministers of Ukraine and Russia are supposed to meet in a trilateral format at the Antalya Dialogue. And this will be significant. Why? Because Russia's foreign minister will be present, and it is expected, yet not confirmed though, that Ukraine's foreign minister will also be present. And Turkey will also be there because this is going to be a trilateral format meeting on the sidelines of the Antalya Dialogue. And Turkey will act as a mediator. That is significant because Turkey, of course, wants to shed its bad boy image, which it has in the eyes of the West. Because the West witnesses or perceives Turkey as one of the authoritarian regimes of the world. Okay, so let's begin with just a tad bit of information about the Antalya Dialogue. This is basically a high-level meetup of political leaders, diplomats, opinion makers, or academics. And if we talk about 2022, the dialogue for Antalya Dialogue will be conducted from 11th to 13th March. Okay, so here only we will see Turkey, Ukraine, and Russia in the same room, where Turkey will act as a mediator, which is very significant. Also, if it comes into fruition, it will be significant from the perspective of war as well as from the historical perspective. We will catch about that as well. So Turkey, as you see, is a transcontinental country. It transcends the important areas of Asia and Europe. And you see, Turkey, as it lies very close to Ukraine and Russia with the help of Black Sea, we will see that it will be of special significance that a transcontinental country will act as a mediator, because this country wants to become a regional power. And also, if it succeeds as a mediator, it will help a lot. It will help Turkey a lot to become a balancing or a stabilizing agent here. But that will be pretty interesting. Why? Because Turkey's history with Russia is not very conducive for it to play as a mediator. Why? Let me tell you why. First, the 2014 annexation of Crimea is illegal according to Turkey. And similarly, it rejected Russia's recognition of the republics of Luhansk and Donetsk, the Donbas region. These two regions, because they are held by Russian rebels. Now this is the Donbas region. And in Crimea, the Crimean Tatars, they are of Turkish origin. Their ethnicity is Turkish. So according to Turkey, the Crimean Tatars, they have received a lot of negativity and they have not flourished very well in Crimea under the regime of Russia. Also, after 5 days of Russia's intrusion into Ukraine, Turkey declared it as Russia's war against Ukraine. And because of that, it invoked the 1936 Montreal Convention. Now, Montreal Convention makes Turkey the sole authority to control Bosphorus Strait and Dardanelles. These two are Turkish straits. So, it blocked the regions for the warships to pass from Black Sea to Sea of Marmara and then through the Dardanelles and then so on to the Mediterranean Sea. But what is the problem here? That Turkey said, we cannot have the power to block the region if any warship wants to go back to its home docking. That means if any warship wants to come back, it has to open this area. So you see that Turkey has a lot of power with respect to Montreal Convention. Then Turkey voted for a UN General Assembly resolution which condemned Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Again, there have been no sanctions as of yet with respect to Turkey. Turkey has not put any sanctions on Russia, nor it has closed the airspace for Russia. Also, Ankara, that is Turkey, is trying to have it both ways. It is rhetorically trying to support Ukraine's independence and also trying to act as a mediator between Russia and Ukraine. And of course, it is a part of NATO, so it wants to show itself as a valuable part of NATO. Moving on, if we talk about the next thing, which is, it is increasingly a religious conservative country according to the European Union. It is trying to convert Turkey back to Islamist regime, which made it unfit for the candidature of European Union. Russia is a friend of Turkey, that is for sure, but also an age-old geopolitical rival, which is going back to Russian-Ottoman wars. And Russia is very close to a Turkic Kurdish group. This PKK is a Turkish Kurdish group, okay? And it has been designated as a terrorist group by Turkey and USA. So Russia is proximate to PKK, which is very, very active in Turkey. That is something of an irritant to Turkey. Also in Syria, Russia and Turkey, they fought on the opposite sides, and this war was in Idlib, okay, which is close to Turkey. Not only in Idlib, of course, Russia was supporting the President Bashar al-Assad, and Turkey, along with the Western countries, they were supporting the other group which were fighting Bashar al-Assad. So that is something. Not only there, but also in Libya and in Nagorno-Karabakh. When Turkey was supporting Azerbaijan, Russia was not doing so. So there are many proxy wars that Russia and Turkey fought in other countries, and Turkish forces shot down a Russian fighter plane. Even after that, they were able to recuperate from this mishap and recovered very well. Why am I saying so? Because trade is one of the biggest sectors where these two countries want to engage, and they are engaging. If we talk about the dependence of Turkey for trade, specifically if we talk about refined petroleum, Turkey depends on Russia a lot, and the bilateral trade in 2019 was $16.4 billion. This is the level of trade. Similarly, if we talk about Ukraine, with Ukraine, Russia has approximately $2.15 billion of trade, and Turkey is a major exporter. Okay, Turkey is a major exporter to Ukraine. And what does it export? What it imports from Russia, refined petroleum. It is a major exporter of refined petroleum to Ukraine. So first is that, and secondly, as you see, I am showing you that it follows an independent foreign policy. What European Union is doing and what the Western countries are doing, it is following a very different path from those countries. It is supporting Ukraine's narrative and also reprimanding Russia. Along with that, it also wants to say, okay, let's sit on a table together to talk about our future with respect to the war. And it wants to emerge as a regional leader. It wants to show, if it succeeds, that it is very much capable of calming down a situation which the West and NATO cannot. Also, security and defense strategy from that perspective, this is very important. Why? It has, with respect to security and defense, in February, it went to Ukraine and had an FTA, free trade agreement, with respect to manufacturing military drones. Can you name the drone I am talking about in the comment segment? So, if we talk about that, the military drones that were given to Ukraine by Turkey, it is being used against Russia now. First, that. With respect to Russia, in 2017, it, of course, imported S-400 Triumph, the surface-to-air defense missile system. After that, it also got sanctioned under CAATSA of USA. So you see it as a very complicated relation. It wants to remain a strategic and defense partner of both the countries, major trade partners of both the countries. That is why the nexus is so complicated that Turkey wants to play its part. It will be very interesting to see what would happen. Now, if we talk about conclusion, the biggest conclusion to take away from here is first, is there any potential of success? As I said, the complicated relation itself raises a question, because if on a world level, international platform, it failed to be neutral, how will it not be biased if we talk about the current format that it is suggesting, trilateral format? Secondly, we need to talk about the refugee crisis that has been emerging from the Russian-Ukraine war. That is also needing to be solved. And third, we have to see what does NATO have to do with the entire situation, because the entire situation escalated on the points of NATO. Will Turkey have a pro-NATO stance as it is a part of NATO, or a stance which it wants to have in order to safeguard its strategic, economic and political relations with Russia? It does not want to irritate Moscow as well. So let's see. Moving on, if we talk about our question, let's see this question. Comment on how Turkey is trying to emerge as a stabilizing energy between West and Europe. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we shall meet again with another segment. Until then, stay updated and thank you so much for watching.